In Tokyo, there lived an outcast 5th grader named Honmaru Edojo, a naughty little chap who is basically one of the more downtrodden losers of his class. That is, until he meets magical Taruruto, who grants him powers to help with all the hardships a 10-year-old boy would have. Girls, bullies, homework, and so on. I must confess, seeing another Bandai manga tie-in doesn't excite me all that much. There have been some pretty bad ones. Slightly more encouraging is that there were also releases on the other consoles of the time. Bandai did the Nintendo ones, Famicom and Super Famicom, whereas the Sega Mega Drive version was curiously given to a budding new development company called Game Freak, with notable development credits given to Messrs. Ken Sugimori, Satoshi Tajiri, and Junichi Masuda, who I'm sure many Game Boy fans are all too familiar with. Anyway, you play as the spiky-haired Honmaru in a left-to-right action platformer. The usual affair: A to jump, B punches. Punching a box can sometimes produce a star, which, if you can catch it, summons Taruruto to help you. He'll mimic your movements directly behind you, but disappears if you get hit. That's actually all he really does. He'll absorb one hit for you, whereas usually you'd just die. You can talk to him by pressing select. He'll ask you what is wrong, and you can give him one of several responses. Some just seem to make Taruruto-Kun angry. Other times he'll give you a pickup, and then occasionally jump on his dragon and actually help you out for a little bit. It doesn't last long though. Sometimes a frog will jump out of a box. If you can catch this before it hops into a ravine, you'll get a 1-up. There are these round fruits that can be collected around the level or when you kill an enemy. The small ones give you 1, and the larger ones grant you 10. Get to 20 for an extra life, something that is actually pretty generous, but then you'll need those extra goes. Dangers come at you thick and fast, and often at short notice. The mice that crawl towards you are rarely a problem, but spurts of water eject from the ground, things fall from the ceiling of caves, swords inexplicably fly at you without a perpetrator. There are many things to keep watch out for, and your reaction time has to be spot on. At the end of each stage there is a boss fight. These are not difficult to work out, as each one has basically 1 or 2 moves. The problem comes with the time limit. Hopefully you've not wasted too much time on the levels, because you now only have the remainder of the limit to finish the boss off. Some bosses you simply won't get enough hits in if there's not enough seconds left on the clock. A slight oversight perhaps, seeing as how progression through the level is done by being careful and moving bit by bit. If you just book it to the exit, you'll get hit by pretty much everything, so it kind of demands that you take it steady, which doesn't leave long enough for the bosses. The backgrounds are often little more than a shaded area of empty space, which is a shame. It would have been nice to see a bit more detail, but then the art style of the manga was equally simple. Otherwise, the presentation is suitable for the source material and executed well. The gameplay is decent, if a little repetitive. In the Adventure Island tradition, you're literally just running from left to right. The platforming elements in the game are few and far between. It would have been more interesting if Taruruto actually gave you some of his professed powers instead of just taking a hit for you, or occasionally riding a dragon for a while. Some kind of movement ability or different weapon would have improved the longevity of this game a whole lot, and it just seems like yet another missed Bandai opportunity. As expected, the Mega Drive game is a bunch more entertaining. You gotta love those Game Freaks. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below, and if you can spare a second, give the review a quick thumbs up, it really helps out. Subscribe to the Portable Power Podcast for a new Game Boy review every day from Monday to Friday. Or alternately, new episodes of the podcast drop every Saturday and Sunday on whichever platform you get your pods. See you later on.